Hey everyone, I'm Jill the Wandering Stamper, and I hope you're having a fabulous day. Today we are making the simplest triple panel card that you've ever seen. It's so easy. By the time you make a few of these, you're going to have everything memorized in your head and you don't even have to look at instructions. I made one of these cards and then I ended up making four before you knew it because it's so simple, but it's really pretty when it's done, and you can use virtually any of your designer series paper because they're double-sided. It's just a really simple card to make. So let me take a moment to turn down the camera and I'll show you how to get started on making these. Thanks for joining me. Here's what we're using today, and I have some exciting news to share with you in regards to our products. So Stampin' Up! Is now is discontinuing their red rubber stamps. They've had a problem sourcing it and finding sources that will do as good of a job as Stampin' Up! Does with their stamps. Sip of coffee, excuse me. So now all of their stamps are coming in these folders, which are fabulous in my opinion. First of all, I like the clear stamps more than the red rubber anyways, because you can always see exactly where your images are going. So I actually prefer the clear stamps. I hope you do too. The red rubber has been great. I mean, Stampin' Up! Is the #1 producer of really high quality rubber stamps in the world, in my opinion. And getting rid of the red rubber, in my opinion, is not that big of a deal because the clear, they do such a good job on the clear stamps. And the fact that it makes your stamping easier, that's a win-win. And on top of that, now that they're getting rid of the boxes and providing stamps that are in these envelopes, they take up so much less room. Let me show you a stack of these. So grabbing them. So the stamps and the dies will come in the same size of these really sturdy, thick envelopes. And they have a nice little flap. I love the flap. It's very easy to open and close. So this comes with a punch. So there's just a stamp set. But like Petals of Beauty and Petals of Beauty dies, they're both together in the same little envelopes, one in each envelope. Words of Beauty, same thing. Okay, so we've got 6. Look at this. Cake Day. Let me tell you, this new product, I can't wait to play with this. But anyway, so here are 6. And if you add this one, 7 of these envelopes. 7 of these envelopes of product equal 2 of the boxes. Okay? So when you put these together, that's 2 boxes, maybe. So I love how much less space these will take up. The only thing I've got to figure out is I will put those in my cabinet probably sideways because they're a little tall for me. And I have to figure out a way to maybe label the edges because right now I kind of rely on the boxes and the wording on the boxes. So I've got to figure that out. But I'm super happy about the amount of space these are going to take. So I wanted to let you know that's coming out soon. I started getting these now with pre-orders. As they run out of product in the red rubber, they'll replace it with this. Okay, so I wanted to let you know that's coming. I'm excited about it. I love it. So it's a really good thing for me. So today we're using the banner sayings. This is a brand new set. It has 14 sayings. I figured out because there's 3 banners on the punch, there's about 3 things. You can put 3 things together that go together. It kind of works that way. So I love it. There's thank yous, there's love, there's birthdays, there's good luck, there's, celebration, just lots of things that you can use all year round and mix and match, which I absolutely love. You can use them alone or you can use them with the punch. So I love this punch. It's got 3 banners on the punch. So you've got 3 sizes and 3 configurations, which makes stamping little messages and making tags super simple. So that's what we're using. So today we're creating this triple panel card. I call it that because it's got 1, 2, 3 panels, super simple to make, and even the dimensions are easy to memorize. So it's always good to have some cards that you're like, oh my gosh, it's Uncle Joe's birthday. I've got to make a card really fast. I don't have anything. Well, guess what? You can go to this fold and pop out a card or 2 really, really fast. And it doesn't even use a lot of product. So here's how to make this card. Now I've grabbed this beautiful designer series paper. I showed this to you last week. This is the Brushed with Beauty paper. It comes with a whole suite of products, which I absolutely love. But this paper is super pretty. So we're going to use that. And then I've paired it with some Mossy Meadow and just basic white. So I've kept the color scheme very simple, but because the paper is double-sided, it's really, really easy to make this card and coordinate everything. So let me show you how to do this. And if you think about it, you can really make 2 cards back to back with 1 sheet of paper, because you use a half a sheet of paper for the base, exactly half, 4 1/4 by 11. So you might as well make 2 because you've got 2 bases sitting here. So 4 1/4 by 11, then we're going to turn it and do some scoring. I'm pulling my arm out. So we're scoring it at 2 1/2. 3 3/4, 6 3/4, and 8 1/4. Super simple. All right. So again, we've got 2 1/2, 3 3/4, 6 3/4, and 8 1/4. All right. I'm going to put that arm in, and then we're going to do some cutting of our layers. So you're going to want a coordinating cardstock for your layers, something a different color than your base. And I'm going to use white because there is basic white, basic beige, and some old olive in this designer series paper. So I'm just going to use the white because I feel like that pops out the most on this particular card. And those are going to be 2 pieces that are 4 by 4. Super simple, right? 4 by 4. And you only use not even half a sheet of paper for that, which I love. All right, so we've got 2 pieces of 4 by 4. And then you're also going to want your piece for the bottom that you're going to put your sentiment on, and that's going to be 2 1/2 by 4. So I know I'm going to make 2 cards, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut just like that, and 4 inches. So you need 1 of those. All right, we're going to set that aside. And then all you have left is your designer series paper. And let's see, is that going to be 8? That's probably going to be 8. So you're going to want 2 pieces that are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So it's just a tad bit smaller than your white 4 by 4s. So I'm going to cut 2 because I'm using this side on one, and then I'm going to use this side for the other. Let's make sure I'm cutting. I've also been working on Thanksgiving cards and Christmas cards and every kind of card, so there's been a lot of paper scraps. All right, so I'm going to use this side for the other piece. That's it for the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble and do some stamping. So let's look at the base first. Now, when you look at your base, you have this panel. So basically, you want to find your biggest panel, which is this panel, and this is going to be the bottom. So once you have your big panel at the bottom, and the way you know it is that you're going to be able to layer this piece with a border around it, okay? This side down here, you don't have that room. So that's how you kind of know for sure you've got the right one. All right, so the largest panel goes at the bottom. Once you have that, then do a valley fold, and then a mountain fold, and then a valley fold, and a mountain fold. Okay, so you've got 3 panels. All right, I like to start with my bottom panel when I decorate, and that's because I want to layer everything over top of that. I want it all to line up. So I went ahead and grabbed my stamps that I'm going to be using, so I don't have to dig them out in front of you. That takes a while sometimes when they're small. And I'm grabbing my Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm just going to stamp that. I didn't quite put that arm straight. Let's do it right here because we're going to cover that up. Sometimes if you just lay your stamp down and then put your block on it, sometimes I put them on there really fast and they get crooked. You don't want that to happen. All right, so I am going to put I'm So Grateful right in the middle like that. Okay, that's it. Let's get some stamp cleaner. All right, clean that off. All right, and I'm going to just put some liquid glue on the back of this. And we're going to put this first layer on. Just like so. Getting it as straight as possible because we're using this layer to layer the next layer. All right, so that looks good. I'm a little high on one side, which is the beauty of liquid glue. You could do some adjusting. That looks good. Okay, so now we've got our second layer. So this is our 3 7/8 layer, and we're putting it on our 4x4 layer. I hope I said 3 7/8 in my video earlier. I will have to double check that. So we've got 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 going on 4x4 cardstock. All right, so that looks good. So now when you glue these on, you're only going to want to put your glue about halfway, a little less maybe. You don't want glue to stick to this piece. So you're going to just put glue on the first half. And then what I like to do is just close it, close the second panel, and kind of place it down. And then I'm lining it up so that I'm covering up that bottom piece. So you can't even see this piece now. So I've got it right at the edges and it's all lined up side to side, okay? And that just helps your card look super clean. All right, so now this next piece of 3 7/8, I wanted to go ahead and add a little extra something to it. So I've got some twine here and I'm just going to wrap some around. So I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal, and this is non-directional, so I don't really care which way I put it. Where's my silicone craft sheet? All right, so I'm just going to put a strip here and here, and I'm probably just going to use this to lay down this layer. But I use this to kind of anchor my string, my twine. And I'm going to wrap it around probably 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And you could also use household tape if you want. That works too. I had this handy and I'm almost out of my household tape, so got to get some more. So there we go. So that looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bow here, and I'm just going to tie it, just a simple little bow like that, just to kind of tie it all together, literally. All right, that looks good. So that's just a simple way to add some interest to your card. Now, if you're worried about your card, your string moving, you can just grab, a lot of time I'll just grab a glue dot and I ball it up just a little bit lightly, and then just, whoop, stuck to my finger, and then just stick it right under the knot. It'll do 2 things. It'll keep your bow from untying, and it also kind of holds it all in place. All right, so that looks good. So since we used Stamp and Seal, I'm just going to go with some more Stamp and Seal on the back. And I'm more of a liquid glue girl, but that's okay. See, I always fight with this thing a little bit. I think I just press down too hard. That's usually my problem. All right, so now we're going to go and pop this on our 4x4 layer. Told you this is super simple. All right. And then I'm going to put glue only on the top half because we don't want to make a mess. And this is strong glue, so it's going to hold it perfectly. All right, I'm going to close this up. And on this top layer, you really are just making sure your sides are all lined up. So I'm just putting that on there and making sure my sides are lined up. There we go. So that looks really pretty like that, but we want to add something to it. So this is where our other stamps come in. So I have one that says, can't thank you enough. And I'm going to put that on a scrap of white. So I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow again. Put my stamp on straight. And I'm just going to stamp that right here. Easy peasy. And then I'm going to get that punch. And I'm going to use the very first opening, the very first tag. I'm going to put it exactly where I like it. Right, I think in the middle. And punch that out. All right. Now I'm not going to put anything on my second panel. So I have this random scrap. So I'm just going to punch this out just like so. It's a great way to use your scraps. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of scraps that are thin. So that works out well. And then for this third one, I'm going to put one more sentiment. I'm going to do thanks a million. We can't say thank you enough, can we? My customers mean the world to me, and I always like to make sure to thank them properly. So there is that. And I used the Mossy Meadow on the old olive, and it's just bold enough. You could also use black if you wanted to. That will look just fine. But I just used the Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to pop this in the bottom one. So we've got 3 different punches on here, and I love that. All right, look, I've got an extra for later. Okay, so we're gonna get that out of the way. So we've got these 3 like that. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, how is that gonna pop? Well, let me show you. We are going to use some dimensionals on the 2 that have messages. So I'm gonna grab some dimensionals. 2 on each one should work. Just like so. Let's move this one over just a tad. All right, and I'm not putting any dimensionals on the middle one because these are going to be anchored to it. I wanted a little dimension, but I didn't want all 3 of them popped up. So we're going to take off these pesky little papers, throw them away. All right, so then I'm going to grab that silicone craft sheet, and we are going to build this together. So I'm going to put just a little overlap here. We're going to do the can't thank you enough. And then on this one, we're going to do the thanks a million. And I'm not worried about whether they're perfectly even or anything. I just want it to be like a little sign. All right, so that looks good. And now I'm just going to grab some liquid glue for this back piece, just like so. And we're going to pop it on the front of our card. So my bow's over here, so I think I'm going to put it over to the side and get it straight and then anchor it down. All right, so there we go. So how easy was that, right? So let's go ahead and finish it off with some antique pearls. I love these things. They're so pretty. So let's go ahead and put one down here and maybe put a little one with that. Over here, just like that. And then we'll grab one of these medium ones. And let's put it right here. Okay. I told you that card was easy. So there we go. So it says, I can't thank you enough. Thanks a million. And when they open it up, it says, I'm so grateful. How sweet. How sweet is that card? Super, super simple to make. All right, let me show you some of my other samples because once I got going with this, I couldn't stop. So this card uses the Perfectly Pairs. I love the paper. It's one of my favorites this season. So I used some pink ribbon because there is some pink in here. And then those antique pearls again. And inside, this is for a dear friend who lost a family member. And it says, wishing you comfort, may you find peace in the days to come and in the loving thoughts that surround you now. So there's that sample. And I use Secret Sea and Old Olive, which looks so pretty together. And then here is a Thanksgiving card I made. This is with the Amber Autumn stamps and the Gather Together Designer Series paper, which they coordinate really well. And it says, Autumn wishes, blessed to have you in my life. I love this card. I added some of this gold ribbon to kind of pull in the gold that's in the Designer Series paper. There's so many pretty specialty papers right now that you can have just endless possibilities with all of this. So there's our third sample. And I had so much fun with this that I have a fourth. This is the Baubles and Blooms stamp set, and I use the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper. I love these little ornaments. They're so cute, and I might actually try to make some 3D ones to actually hang in the tree. And I used some metallic gold paper for the ornament topper and added some gold ribbon, and I added some shiny embellishments. But it says, joyous wishes to you and yours and glad tidings. Super sweet card, very easy to make this as a Christmas card. So if you have to send 10 or 20 Christmas cards, this is a great card. And you could actually tuck a gift card in here as well. You could put a little glue dot on the back and grab a gift card and put it in there. It would fit perfectly in. It should be hidden. It'll be hidden as well. So this is a great card to add a gift card to. So there you go. There are 4 samples of this triple panel card. Super simple. If you want all of the cutting and scoring directions and a list of what I used for each of these cards, don't forget to go click on the link below to my blog, which will have all of that information and how to make this card. It also has my online store. So if you need any of these products right away, go ahead and click on my shop and place your order. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already and hit that bell so you get reminders of my videos. And I wanted to remind you that through the month of October, there is an amazing deal with Stampin' Up! So if you are a hobbyist, if you know you're going to spend money on Stampin' Up! Right now, you can purchase a starter kit and pick any products you want, $125 worth of products, and you only pay $35 and there's no shipping. So that is like the best deal I've ever seen over the years with Stampin' Up! So if you have a long wish list and you want to get a 20% discount and you want to get to be able to pre-order products and get all the perks, check out that starter kit. You can also look online in my shop to find out more information about it, or you can email me at jill@wanderingstamper.com. I will see you next Wednesday with another card fold. I'm going to drink my coffee before it gets cold, and I will see you later. Have a great day. Bye.